This week, it's National Senior Center Month. You can find your balance at, find balance at your center. This Thursday, 3:30 until 6, they have a lot of things going on. We're going to find out all about it from Brenda Johnson, their program director, and Clarence Andy Anderson is with us. He is a member of the board at the Senior Center and is also the co-chair of the Capital Fund Raising Campaign, which I was told by Mona is going very well, Clarence.
Yes, it is. This is a long-term thing, always, and we're in our second year of the drive, and that's to be expected.
Oh yeah. Refresh my memory. The total amount needed is?
Well, 2.1 million, and we're just over halfway. We're $1,060,000.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, and a lot of it is cash. Gives us something to operate with. The whole process has started. The surveying work is done. A lot of the drafting is done. Now we just have to get out and get the money in.
Yep, it's quite an asset for our community, and even be more so once we get her completed, right?
Yes, it is. There are a couple things that we talk about a little bit. The study showed that over a 10-year period, the senior citizens, 55 to 64, were the fastest growing group in the whole age group. About 45% increase.
Yep.
And then the group just below them, the 40s and early 50s, were 30%. So there's a lot of people coming in. A good senior center is vital. A lot of retired people move in. What can you do for me?
Yeah.
And stop down and see. And this is kind of a bulwark down at the south end of Central, with the library, the city center, and the senior center.
Yep, I just put a post up on our website about Smart Asset has ranked the tax-friendly cities and tax-friendly states for senior retirees in the nation. Now, Minnesota is not a tax-friendly state, but Faribault ranks number 10 on the cities in Minnesota in tax friendliness.
Oh, that's great to hear.
That is good.
So I thought I'd put that up there on the website. I thought it was kind of cool
Right.
when I saw it. Austin's number 9, and they're the only two cities in the top 10 in southern Minnesota.
Okay.
There are no metro communities in it, probably because of sales tax. And then up in northern Minnesota, they have most of the Grand Rapids was the tax-friendliest city to live in for retirees in Minnesota. You want to take a guess at what the tax-friendliest state is in the United States?
Florida.
Good guess.
Las Vegas area.
It's Alaska.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, they have no sales tax. They don't tax your Social Security income like we do here in Minnesota. They have no estate tax like we have in Minnesota. So Minnesota, I think, it has the 7th highest sales tax in the country. About average in property tax. So they take into account all the taxes and the tax friendliness. Anyway, if you want to look at it, folks, and see all the details, go to our website, kdhlradio.com. That's kdhlradio.com. I have a nice little chart there that shows you all the top 10 cities. We go into the top states and that sort of thing. And I didn't mean to belabor that, but it was a good,
interesting though.
It was a good time to plug it here on the show. kdhlradio.com. You can take a look at that. We'll continue our conversation about what's happening at the Senior Center in just a moment. Northland Buildings, for quality post-frame construction, go to their website, northlandbuildings.com. Get on AM Minnesota today. Brenda Johnson, Program Director at the Faribault Area Senior Center. Clarence Andy Anderson, who is on the board and is the Capital Fund co-chair, because they're doing a capital fundraiser. If you live in Faribault, you probably know that. Capital fundraiser for expanding the Faribault Area Senior Center. So, Brenda, The special event's coming up this Thursday, starts at 3:30, ends at 6, and you have a lot going on.
Yes, we do. The 2016 theme for National Senior Center Month is Find Balance at Your Center, which is kind of two ways. Find balance at your senior center, but also at the center of yourself. And what we're also trying to do is showcase the Buckham Center. As Andy said, I love that word bulwark for the center down at the end of Central Avenue. So what we're having is some sessions. This will be held September 22nd. That's this Thursday from 3:30 to 6. People can be part of a Tai Chi and strength training demonstration. Faribault Park and Rec will be leading that, and it'll be held in the gym next door to us. And there's 2 time slots offered. You can come either at 3:30 or at 4:30. And then we've got a program with Michael Maas from the Retired and Senior Volunteer Program called Living Well, Join the Adventure. The Retired and Senior Volunteer Program, RSVP, hosts a number of programs. They work to recruit senior volunteers, age 55 and older, but they also have some programming that they do. One of them most recently was the Aging Mastery Program, which was a multi-week program that Michael presented along with some speakers at the Senior Center. So he's going to be coming and talking a little bit about that, the spiritual, mental kind of side of finding your balance. And so he will have 2 sessions at the same times, 3:30 and 4:30. So the idea is you attend one session at 3:30 and then attend the other at 4:30. And then we're also going to be having a light supper available for purchase. It'll be a ham sandwich, pasta salad, and a dessert, which I think is a cookie, and then your beverage. And so we hope people will come and take part in those programs, but also to see the newest draft of our building project. The library will be represented as well because they're part of the Buckham Center, obviously. They're going to have a demonstration of their 3D printer and some other information on their fall programming. So while our building project is keyed on the senior center, because we're part of the Buckham Center, it's really a benefit for all age groups in Faribault. So I think, you know, we need that to be known too. If you're a young family, potentially senior center space, new space, can be used by you after hours if you're attending some programs that the community center is hosting in the senior center space. So I think all along, I think how back to the people that put up the building that I work in right now were so forward thinking, and the city council at the time, to attach that building to the community center with the intention that sometime it would be expanded upon. And I'm just excited to be here at this time, that, you know, being part of this expansion and all the good things that we can offer then.
And they have the Buckham Library there at the same area along with the community center. It's perfect.
Yes, it is. It is. And people do use it. You know, they do come down to one building and kind of spend a good share of their day under the roof there at the Buckham Center.
You can have a morning swim, go have lunch, and then go over to the library and do some reading.
Or go on the computer there. You know, there's a lot of things to be said about having all those components in one location, and in the downtown area, I think, is an interesting way too. You know, sometimes our newer buildings go up on the outskirts of a town, and maybe they're not as accessible when they're in the outer area of a town. So to be right downtown is kind of a boon, I think.
Yes, it is. 3:30 to 6 again is the time. It's absolutely free, open to the public, except there's a cost for the light supper.
Yeah, there's a cost for the supper, and I think it might be $5, but don't quote me on that. I didn't have that information with me this morning. So, but come on down. It will be prepared by our senior dining staff, the SEMCAC Senior Dining Program, and I think you'll find that it'll be a good meal and a fun time to get out.
So, Clarence, or do you prefer Andy?
Either way.
You partake in the senior dining program?
Yes,
How are their
my
meals?
wife and I go down there. Well, it's the thing about it, a noon meal, but it's aimed at seniors with the idea that this is the big meal of the day. And this is the mashed potatoes and gravy and meat and a dessert. And, I've never been disappointed in going down there and eating.
And the veggies?
Yes.
It's a very nutritious meal.
Yes.
Has to be.
Right, it's a dietitian approved planned menu.
And the price?
The
$3.50.
price, $3.50 or $4. Yeah.
I mean, you can't beat that.
Right. No, you can't, because it includes milk, and like Andy said, it includes dessert too, so.
That's for those 60 and older. So
Yes.
I'm not quite there yet.
Yes.
But if I went down there, it would only be $7. That's the full price.
Right. Right. Yeah, because you don't have to be in a certain age group to eat there. It's open to anybody that wants to eat there. It's just the price is different for the younger ones.
Yeah. So if
So.
you want a good, nutritious meal, and the portions are what they probably should be. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, they are. Maybe they tend to leave
Rather
a
than
little
a
bit
10-ounce steak, it's more like a 3-ounce steak. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know, sometimes the plates get loaded pretty full though.
I think
Yeah.
the servings just kind of lean toward call it the heavier side.
The
Oh.
generous
Generous good
portion.
term.
Okay.
It does, but yes,
I was
it
thinking
is.
it would force me to do a little more portion control.
Well, it could help you with that, but you get dessert, so it's hard to turn that down.
That's true. Again, find balance at your center. And as Brenda mentioned, that can be taken both ways.
Right.
Yourself as a person and the senior center.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, so that's September 22nd. That's coming up this Thursday, and we hope a lot of people will come out and see what the senior center has to offer, see what Parks and Rec is up to, and see what the library is doing, and hear about the building project as well. So.
Yes, Buckham Memorial Library will have a display there of what they're doing, right?
And their 3D printer, which is kind of cool. If you haven't stopped in the library, that's worth a trip to go and see what that machine can do.
I did want to touch on a few of the other things that are coming up.
Yeah, that'd be great.
While you're here.
Mm-hmm.
What are the requirements to be a member of the Faribault Area Senior Center? I know that there are some people that have joined in their 40s.
Yes, absolutely. Anybody can be a member of the senior center. Our target age group starts at age 50. And we do a new member incentive this time of the year. So for people that want to join, because our membership year runs from January 1st through December 31st. If you want to join now, you get your membership for the remainder of 2016 and all of 2017 for $35 for an individual.
And if I start the first of the year?
Then it's $30. And
so I get 3 months, basically October, November, for $5.
Well,
Handy.
yeah, it's an incentive. You know, we don't want people to join and then have to rejoin again the first of the year.
I understand.
You know, so we do a little discounted rate
And
at
this has
this
been
time of the
going on
year.
for a month already too. So
Yeah, it has,
It
and
was 4 months for
Yeah.
$5.
Sure.
Yes, and we've got a little over 760 members right now, and I know we've gained new members since the beginning of September. So I think people do come to us and see the value in what we're offering there. Membership really helps us maintain programming that some of our low-income seniors can participate with. Just last week, Thursday, we had an event from the Senior Legal Services, Southern Minnesota Senior Legal Services, that helped 10 clients write a will and do a healthcare directive and do a power of attorney, and all the paperwork was completed within that afternoon. And I had one lady who was there with her mother who was disabled and said, you know, you had this event here, you probably saved my family $1,000, and I can't put a price on the peace of mind we have now. So when we hear comments like that, we know we're absolutely doing the right thing, and helping people. But also having like a community center for seniors where we have fun things and we have trips and we have classes, people learn things and learn better ways to take care of their health. So we try to have a good balance and a good variety of programs when we put those in place.
You enjoy being on the board?
Yes, I guess this is my 5th year now, and yeah, I do. It's even fun to go out and try to raise money.
When you were working, what did you do for a career?
I taught for a while. I taught 10 years at what was the ABTI here at Faribault, and then I went into private farm management and appraisal and real estate work.
Oh, okay. So were you teaching farm management?
I was teaching farm management at the VOTEC, yes. Yep.
Miss it?
I miss the people that I dealt with, and the fact that I was out in the country. And even now, at my age, I still get out and drive around the country.
Sure, of course. Look at those crops.
That was my life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, prices aren't so hot right now, you know.
No, no, and I look at, just saw this weekend, 9% decrease in land values across the state of Iowa. And Minnesota is the same thing.
Sure.
And until the prices stabilize, move up a bit, I think that's a trend we're going to see.
It's not a good one.
No, no, it isn't.
I mean, that affects the entire economy, not just the ag economy, right?
That's correct. There's a lot of money poured into a community like Faribault or Owatonna or Kenyon or any of these.
And speaking of that, in your capital campaign, those rural people can come in and use the senior center too, right?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
So they're included in the campaign.
Yeah, I've talked to a number of farm families that are participating in the campaign.
Well, that's awesome.
And it's an interesting thing because people might say, well, why I don't use senior center? Why do I participate? You don't build things just for yourself.
Right.
You build things for the future like this here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same with the schools.
Yes, yes, very much so. And there's another kind of interesting sidelight here. The city is participating in this whole thing. The city owns the land, and they're donating the land. We, the senior center, own the building that's there, and we'll own this addition that's going on. Well, because of that, the city can use this building in the morning, early morning, say 5:30 or whatever, 6 o'clock, to do the swimming, to do the exercise. They can use the building that we're putting up. And then we use it till 4:30 in the afternoon, and then beyond that, into the evening and weekends, the city has use of it again. So it's a cooperative thing, and it helps a lot. The city has been marvelous in their support.
In fact, I believe they told us on this very program, when they first announced about this expansion, that eventually the thought process is closing the Washington, facility on the east side and bringing it down to the expanded senior center, which would save dollars.
Right, because the exercise classes that they host up there could be in our space now. Yeah, because one of the rooms is an exercise room, which doesn't have equipment in it. It's meant for yoga and tai chi and, bone builders classes, those kinds of things. Because the community center has the equipment room, the fitness room.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, and they have the racquetball courts and the gymnasium and the pool, and then, we'll enhance that space by some of the rooms that we will have a dedicated classroom space. Right now, our programs are either in what was the activity room, which is now the coffee shop, or the dining room. Those are our 2 spaces, and then we have 3 office spaces there. So
There are those that would say, well, you have an exercise room in the community center. What do you need an exercise room in the senior center for, but it's a whole different kind of exercise, right?
Right, right. And you know, back when the Bone Builders program in particular, and that's an RSVP program, wanted to come into Faribault, which is a really great program, we didn't have suitable space for it because they needed it twice a day on Tuesdays and twice a day on Thursdays. And so I shopped around and found space actually at Milestone, which have been wonderful hosts for that program. But it'd be nice if we could have offered it on the campus at you know, at the Buckham Center. And I'm not suggesting that Bone Builders will move away from Milestone. That won't be my decision to make. But if they want to, now we would have space for that, so that people can come and add more layers of things that they can do when they're at the Buckham Center.
So if you haven't had a chance to see the plans, the expansion drawings will be at this event this Thursday.
Yes, that's correct. It'll be up on the wall and you have a chance to look at them.
And again, it won't cost you anything to go see that. If you want to eat, it'll cost you a little something.
Right, but everything else, just come in and see what's happening and do the Tai Chi and strength training demonstration. Come and hear Michael Maas, see what the library's doing, and
Just remind people every Wednesday at noon you have blood pressure checks.
yes, we do, and that's courtesy of our local care centers. They take turns coming in, and that's one of the strong suits at the senior center is our partnerships. Really helps us grow our programs when we have great agencies working with us.
You have a foot clinic the second and last Wednesdays of the month.
That's right. We have two actually and a sub nurses that do the foot care, LPNs and an RN. So you're in good hands. Your feet are in good hands when you come there.
That's a $15 price.
Right.
If you'd like to sign up, the Senior Center phone number is 332-7357.
Right.
332-7357. If you're turning 65 or heading on Medicare soon, you've got a Medicare Basics event coming up at the Senior Center on Thursday, October 6th, 5:30 in the evening.
Right, and that's presented by staff from the Area Agency on Aging office in Rochester. That's the same program that trains our health insurance counseling volunteers. So if people need to sit down one-to-one with somebody because we're going into the open enrollment time, we have extra appointments added, and you can just call the senior center and get an appointment. So somebody can help you navigate what plan might be the best fit for you, what prescription drug coverage
That's free
is
too,
the best
folks.
fit.
This
Yes,
is free.
it's free, absolutely.
Best price there is.
Right.
Free. Best four-letter word in the English language other than love. Free. Again, pre-registration required for this.
For the Medicare Basics, yes, we do want that, and primarily just to make sure we have enough interest, and I think we already do. We've got a number of people signed up for that. We've also got the Rice County Public Health staff coming and doing flu shots next week on September 28th. That's next week, Wednesday.
Yep.
And again on November 3rd. And that also, if you're on Medicare, just bring your Medicare card with you. You fill out some paperwork, and they process it for you, so you aren't paying for your flu shot.
And everybody should get one if you're over 6 months old.
Yes.
And unfortunately, we are.
Yes.
People in this room are.
Yes, we are a little past the 6-month mark.
Wouldn't you love to go back, though?
I don't know if I want to go back to 6 months necessarily. I don't know. What age would you want to go back to?
I don't care. 6 months would be nice.
Okay.
Just think about it. 6 months, you don't have a care in the world. Everything's taken care of for you.
That's probably true. Yeah.
You don't have to worry about making a house payment or a car payment or anything like that when you're 6 months old.
Yeah. I can't argue with that. I don't know.
You're pretty
My comment
dependent.
there is every year has its own rewards.
There you go, Andy.
And
Wow.
you look ahead to what's coming in your life, and you hope for good things, but they all do have. Right now, in my age, there's grandchildren and great-grandchildren that make a big effect on my life.
I'm sure. And they're a joy for you.
Yes.
That's awesome. So again, this balance event, Find Balance at Your Center, is this Thursday, 3:30 until 6. 3:30 until 6 this Thursday at, obviously, the Faribault Area Senior Center.
Yeah.
Do you work very closely with the Owatonna, Northfield facilities, or?
Well, we kind of know what their programming is because we like to share ideas that way.
I'm just curious if they're jealous that we have that great facility with the Buckham Library attached and the community center attached, because they don't, do they?
No, no. Owatonna is out at the West Hills, and they've got a rather large building with a lot of space, but it's sort of on different levels. And some of the spaces are kind of, they're not very big. Northfield is actually kind of a preeminent senior center in the area, just because they are attached to kind of the Northfield Community Center, and they have their fitness room and their pool, and they sort of needed that because they weren't attached to a place that offered fitness. So they are.
You don't have the library component, though.
No, they don't. They do not. Every community is different, I mean, some senior centers are in churches, and that's kind of the way it was in Faribault once upon a time.
Oh, yeah.
They met all over the place, so.
Yeah, it's great. We've got
And
that
they're
building.
all paid for and financed differently.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, because some are part of the city and it's city staff, and others are not. And for us, we're a nonprofit, standalone
501c3.
nonprofit. Exactly.
Which reminds me, if you do make a donation, it is tax deductible.
Right.
Not that that's why you would do it, but just so you're informed about that. Andy, it was good seeing you. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate that very much.
That's great to be able to talk a little bit about this project. And I'm after a year and a half of working at it, I'm still enthused about
Yeah,
it.
we're
That's
really
terrific.
blessed to have Andy taking the lead that he is with the project. So.
Yes. Well, that concludes today's edition of AM Minnesota. Tomorrow, Jerry, I'm sure we'll be talking about farm safety. This is Farm Safety Week. And then we've got some special events come up that I don't have time to tell you about. You're in tune to KDHLAM in Faribault, Minnesota.